Hey, I'm Dave. Welcome to CapZeyeZ, all Texas music.
We've been doing this for 30 years, bringing you nothing but Texas music. We hope you dig it, because we love making it.
CapZeyeZ, all Texas music. Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome to CapZeyeZ. It's another wonderful edition of do-it-yourself Texas-related music. I say that because today's guest, he moved away. But he put some time in here in Texas for sure. Very lucky to be able to have Billy Harvey on the show. How are you, Billy?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here. And yeah, Texas is, I lived here for 15 years, and it's the longest, I lived in Texas longer than anywhere else in my life.
Yeah.
And yet, I wasn't born here. I didn't go to high school here. So, you know, when people are sticklers from where you are from, I can't claim it,
Yeah.
but I feel very connected. And I say I don't say I'm from anywhere, you know, but I feel very connected to Texas.
You should just go with Chicago.
I'm from Chicago.
That's what I tell people every time, like, where were you born?
Chi-town, man.
Yeah, and then I turn into one of those California transplants, you see, and then I get all of that drama being
Where were
in
you
Texas.
born?
Hayward, California.
Hayward?
Hayward.
What?
Yes, sir.
I lived in Hayward.
Oh, I was born at Kaiser.
Wow.
And then I lived in Fremont for most
Kaiser,
of the time
people,
I was there. So.
Was Kaiser good or bad?
As far as I remember, I gave the doctor a black eye.
Bad.
So I guess that was
So
good
bad.
for me, bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Well, I peed on the floor and he walked in and slipped and his eye hit the doorknob. And
Wasn't expecting that.
we're going way back here on CapZeyeZ today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Hayward, yeah. My first band was, it was a hair metal band.
Flame.
And we were based out of, I started living in Castro Valley, then moved to Hayward, and then eventually landed in Fremont.
Ah, yeah, man.
And we ruled, for our genre,
Yeah.
we ruled that area for a bit, like Niles Station, the Stone in San Francisco, the Omni in Oakland,
That's a
Keystone Palo Alto, yeah. Anyway.
crazy connection. I lived in Niles. So,
Wow,
yeah,
you
man.
lived in Niles?
Canyon Heights
Niles
Drive.
Canyon?
Yes, sir. Wow.
I mean, if y'all can't relate, sorry, but
Remember
we're
how
just-
many, like I told you last night, there's been like 10 million times we were like right there, but I was looking this way and you were looking that way?
Yeah.
That's it.
Wow.
All the way back.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was an ambush in the desert, they were 40 feet tall with hands like hand grenades. They blew up everything in sight when they waved goodbye. And we never saw it coming, no, we never saw it coming, but we couldn't turn our eyes away. And even though we knew better, we just kept staring at the light. Alright. Alright, 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 if that's the way it's gonna be now. The sky was raining poison, it was poison in the pool, but everyone kept swimming. It's a taking and the doing, no matter what we're losing, all for the sake of winning. My best friend in Austin will tell you what it's costing to live with your eyes closed. And if you don't give a damn what's happening around you, then who knows? Alright, 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 if that's the way it's gonna be now. Then here's to you, here's to you, here's to you, here's to you. The evidence around us is kinda overwhelming, but the future is here. And there's gotta be a limit to death and destruction, but the line is not clear. She's got a little baby, and I don't have a baby yet, but one day I might. And I don't know much about it, but I know what I know, and I know it feels right. Right? Alright, alright. Alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. That's not the way it has to be now. Alright, alright. Alright, alright. Alright, alright, alright. That's not the way it has to be now.
I'm going to take you back to Flame since you brought it up.
Okay.
Give me something that you remember from those days. Did you, you know, being in a metal band, you know, there's a lot of things, whether it's drinking, drugging, women, embarrassment, spray painted hair, tights. What do you got?
That you just read our bio word for word, did you? It was all that. I say metal, but we were more like you know, Poison. All the bands, Poison, whatever all the bands were back then. Motley Crue, Poison, Slaughter. Yeah. How about Motley Crue's first record, by the way?
Dude, it's a life breath.
Yeah, it's incredible. It's so punk.
I had the leather cassette version before they got signed to Elektra. That's when I jumped on board.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
Yeah, yeah. So, you know, it wasn't really metal. It was like we wanted girls at our shows, and we liked melodies and big choruses. I played through 4 Mesa Boogie full stacks.
Nice. No half stack business.
Because I needed stereo, so 2 on the other side of the stage. Yeah. And needless to say, my guitar probably was never in the PA. But
it was in the PAs across the street in the other clubs because of your amps.
Yeah, yeah. And we, you know, we'd go out and we'd put flyers on all the telephone poles, and you know, our kind of rule of thumb, and it wasn't mine, it was our singer's, who was like the band leader. He was a little older than everyone. He was, you know, it was his band essentially. But he's like, we only give flyers to girls, because if you get the girls there, the guys are just gonna follow them. So don't waste your time.
That's funny.
Handing them out. And so that's what we did, and, you know, and we were just trying to grow our thing, and we ended up, you know, being able to like pack everywhere we played in the Bay Area for a few years. And our girl to guy ratio was like maybe 70-30. So it was just wild. Like I just felt like a rock star.
Make it to the Cow Palace one day.
Yeah, never played the Cow Palace. But we did play the Concord Pavilion.
Oh, yeah.
And that was pretty cool.
I'll bet.
Opening up for Y&T.
Oh, geez, Y&T.
Yeah.
Oof, talk about going back.
I know.
Dave, great band.
Yeah, so right when I moved to the Bay Area, they were doing these, it was like the big concerts, like Us Festival or whatever, Woodstock. But they were called Day on the Green.
Yeah,
you know.
Totally.
And they held them at Oakland Stadium, right? The Oakland A's Stadium, Oakland Coliseum. It's like 60,000 people would fit in there. Yep. And my very first concert was a Day on the Green, and it was the headliner was Scorpions.
Nice.
But it was like Metallica when they were starting out.
Yep.
Y&T. It was Yngwie. It might have been Rising Force, Y&T. I don't know the exact bill.
I remember those days, kind of.
Yeah, but it was, man, those were some amazing times.
Oh, like, dude, I lived and breathed it.
There's so much light reflecting off of you. You obliterate the dark every time you move. I wanna be near you. I wanna be near you. And the beauty that I see, you don't see it all. It's a thing that compels me to echo the call. I wanna be near you. I wanna be near you. And it doesn't have to be all for none and none for all. It doesn't have to be shadows up against the wall. It doesn't have to be you against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world. Well, how many years you been living this dream? I've been living in this dream too. I see me when I see you. I see you when I see me. And the people in the clubs are raising their glasses in between the booty shaking and the money making. We're our own worst enemies. I am my own worst enemy. And it doesn't have to be all for none and none for all. It doesn't have to be shadows up against the wall. It doesn't have to be you against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world. Doesn't have to be shadows up against the wall. It doesn't have to be you against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world. You against yourself, against the world.
You've currently based out of Nashville, music, cutthroat city, as I've heard. You've done well with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's something that I see your hands not only as a performer, of course, but production, commercials. Does that all come from the same passion spot of wanting to play music and you just happen to be able to funnel that into something? Or do you look at all of those as different trades? How does that work?
Yeah, they you know, they're similar. It's expressions of, it's different ways to express feelings.
Yeah.
And they're similar in ways. Like music is timing. Music is melody mixed with timing. And you know, videos or film is timing mixed with dialogue, which is melody, you know? So if I'm editing a video or something longer than just a 3-minute video, it's all about the timing and the music, like where's the music, you know, in the conversation. So it relates. And I just wanted to play guitar. I didn't see myself as an artist. at all. I'm like, I want to be Eddie Van Halen, so I'm just going to practice and be Eddie Van Halen. And then I just started getting interested in other things, wanting to write songs, wanting to express myself, mainly by writing. And that was right around the time when Flame we got a record deal, you know, that all went and then went away, and I decided to move to Austin. Never been here before, sight unseen.
Wow.
A friend of a friend knew somebody who lived here, and I called her up and said, hey, you know, I'm so-and-so's friend, I'm coming to Austin, where should I live? And she pointed me toward this apartment complex in off of Barton Skyway.
Yeah.
So the woods, I don't know. But so I moved to Austin and just discovered songwriters, Texas songwriters, and was just completely blown away and in love with the wordsmiths.
Yeah.
And the songwriting. And so I just ditched playing guitar. I'll just give me my acoustic, and I just want to write. And that's how I met Renee Woodward. Like, I would come here, I came here, and I'm like, what do I do now? So I just found these open mics. There was one at Chicago House?
I was going to say Chicago House.
Chicago
yeah.
House. And Rudamaya had a great one. And so we would all hang out and write songs. And then that healthy competition came in again. Like, it was mainly Renee, I think, and Casey Crowley, and our friend John Phillips. We loved music. We're trying to figure out what it all was.
Yeah, man.
Busking on the street for grocery money.
Yes.
Being very inspired by each other and wanting to inspire each other. So I'm like, I think I have a great song. I want to play it for them.
But it's got to be better than Casey's and
And
Renee's.
if it's better, it probably will be if it's mine, but no, just kidding.
This song's called All For You. I lost it all for you. My shadow kingdom took a fall for you. I let the enemy breach the wall for you. It was all for you. I burnt the days for you. I disappeared into the haze for you. You thread the needle, I count the ways to you. It was all for you. It's hard to tell when the race is over. The moon still chases the sun, and I feel like we've only begun. I fought the flame for you. I called the devil by his name for you. I never moved to stay the same for you. It was all for you. I did my best for you. I held the arrows in my chest for you. I turned my faith into a test for you. It was all for you. It's hard to tell when the race is over. The moon still chases the sun, and I feel like I've only begun. Whatever whatever is done for you. Whatever you do, don't do us wrong. Whatever I do, I won't lead us on. Whatever you do, don't do us wrong. Whatever I do, I do for you. I mowed the lawn for you. I did the dishes, wrote this song for you. I said I missed you, but I long for you. And I do it all over again.
You have quite the knack for a melody. You know, you hear a song once and you walk away singing it. So you have a gift, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite exciting to be in the room when you're doing this stuff off the cuff, and I'm excited you did this for us today.
Oh,
and
thank you.
lucky enough to see the house show for Casa DB last night.
Oh, that was a blast.
Absolutely. You had breezed through town at the 04 recently, but don't often make it back to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
You're in the middle of doing some recording with the amazing Lars.
Yes.
Yes. So what's going on with that?
Lars Goranson is a great engineer, producer, mixer guy here, and he's worked on a lot of my stuff, and he, you know, he calls me in to work on some records he's doing. So there's an artist in town, his name's Kirk Smith, and he's got a new record out that's in rotation at KUT as we speak. The record's called Ithaca, and I played all over that, and I love his music. It's kind of, it's dramatic. It's, I always say The Cure-ish, even though I didn't really follow. I kind of know what that, you know, the drama of that band and the greatness. I can hear it, and I hear it in his stuff, and I just love working on it. So, you know, he's starting a new record because it takes like a year to get these things done. God
forbid you want it on vinyl.
Yeah, yeah.
You had a very interesting COVID movement, procedure, recording with Lars. You put yourself in an interesting position to churn out some songs.
Yeah, yeah. During COVID, which, you know, nothing needs to be said about that. We all know. My mom had just passed, so it was a combination of being isolated in my, you know, in my house and yard, and feeling the isolation of being alone, kind of like not being able to look up, not being able to look to somebody who's older than myself anymore. Yeah. And I'm like, I gotta do something with all this stuff inside me. I gotta get it out. So I just started recording, and then quickly on I realized that I didn't want to overthink the thing. I wanted it to be more primal, in order to release the stuff. It had to just be primal.
Fuck a gun, fuck a motherfucker fucking with one. A lone wolf shooting at the sun, or someone. Fuck a gun, you say they don't kill people, people do. But it's the people with the guns killing you before they run. Fuck a gun. Bang, bang, you're dead. A hole in the head, that's what I said. fuck a gun. How much money do they need? Collateral cost of greed. From the light blue sky to the blood red streets. How much money do they need? Collateral cost of greed. From the light blue sky to our blood-stained feet. Fuck a gun. Bang, bang. You're dead. A hole in the head. That's what I said when I was young. Fuck a gun. Fuck a gun. Fuck a motherfucker fucking with one. A lone wolf shooting at the sun. Or someone. Fuck a gun.
I'm gonna go to the studio, which is in the back, my backyard. It's a room. It's a room. You know.
I do.
The studio. You know. It's
Yeah.
a room. But I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna start a song and I'm gonna finish it and I'll send it to you. Start mixing it. Send it back either that night or the next morning, and then we'll keep going. And we did it. I say a song a day, but maybe it was 11 days or whatever. At the end of it, I had a record.
Yeah.
And it was, because I didn't put, there was no like pre-calculated agenda other than to just get the emotions out. When we were done and I looked at it, I was, you know, kind of brought to tears because I just, what I want to do is make myself available to whatever the inspiration is and wherever the inspiration comes from.
That's great.
I call it like hearing the whisper. Because I think the whisper is there for all of us to hear in different ways. And none of us can prove who's doing the whispering or where it's coming from. I don't need to. I just want to make myself available to it. And so often, after the fact, because I'm just honoring the whisper, I realize what I've done or what I've participated in. And it can bring you to tears. Like,
Yes.
oh, I didn't know I was writing a song about that. And so the record's called Bullseye, and it's my new record, but I love it.
It's amazing.
It's not just because it's new.
Yeah.
I love that record.
That's a great vibe after 10 records to be in love with your latest.
Yeah.
It's sometimes gets mechanical for people, you know?
Yeah.
Sometimes you don't really know where you're going. Sometimes you don't really care where you are. And the world is trouble, and it feels so far from your lonely bubble on Mars. Spaceman, I can be a friend. Spaceman, I can be a friend to you. Spaceman, I can be a friend. I'm a spaceman too. Sometimes it's hard to see where you are going. Sometimes it's hard to know where you have been, and you've been in circles around your mind. You can't leave anything behind. Spaceman, I can be a friend. Spaceman, I can be a friend to you. Spaceman, I can be your friend. I'm a spaceman too. So good, so far, so good, so far. Spaceman, I can be your friend. Spaceman, I can be a friend to you. Spaceman, I can be your friend. I'm a spaceman too.
Known Bob Schneider since the early 90s. You have any funny stories no one's ever heard that you could tell on TV about Bob Schneider and not get assassinated by his team? You were involved with Bob Schneider for a while.
Yeah. You know, I mean, he's just so incredible. My only, well, one that I can recall right now is when I first got the call. It was before the internet, I think, or at least for me. Mm-hmm. So he called me on the landline, and he had heard about me through maybe Casey Crowley or Carl Anderson or somebody, and he I think basically was kind of asking me to join, and I'm like, nah, I'm doing my thing. I'm not really interested. Yeah. And then he came over, and we never even played through one whole song, and he's like, yeah, I want you in my band, and I'm like, I'm kind of into what I'm doing. He's like, it'll be good for you. And it was.
That's cool.
He's like, no, trust me, it's going to be good for you. Yeah. And so I learned what I could learn, and Stephen Bruton had just quit, and like following Bruton, who everybody loves, and he's just incredible. They were just some shoes to fill. Yeah. And everyone in the crowd was looking at me like, who's this snake? And our first tour was on a tour bus. We went to the West Coast, and then Bob did what he does so well. He just ad-libbed a whole show, and never cued me, the new guy. He would only cue David Boyle, like, we're doing this one next. And I'm like, what's this one? Like, I didn't learn this one. What G? It's a G chord? Okay, I'll start there. And, anyway, the rest is some kind of history.
I bet it is.
But we're still working together. I'm working on a record for him right now that it is just giving me life. It's just giving me, I love the tunes. He's got a musical called Fame, mm-hmm. and it's those songs, and we'll see what happens.
Prolific to say the least.
Prolific.
song about a girl. I said, I love you, I love you, I love you. I never thought my heart could explode. But there it goes. You sit and you plan, but you don't understand. It takes you completely cold. Now every day without her feels so wrong. Why must I always be so strong? I'm getting weaker at the knees. Feed me to the birds and bees. I wrote a song, I played it loud. I saw somebody turning themselves into a crowd. That's how it goes when you're looking for somebody nobody told you right there under your nose. Now every day without her feels so long. Why must I always be so strong? I'm getting weaker at the knees. Feed me to the birds and bees. Every day without her feels so wrong. Why must I always be so strong? I'm getting weaker at the knees. Feed me to the birds and the birds and the birds and bees. I wrote a song about a girl. I said, I love you, I love you, I love you. I never thought my heart could explode. But there it goes.
I'm going to bug you about the situation with the car running on oil. Tell us a little bit about what happened with that. And
I had a. I had a buddy named Billy Henry, who I used to meet for coffee, and at Epoch up north, and he drove in this Mercedes that smelled real good, and I asked him about it, and he said I drive it on hamburger French fry grease that I get from this hamburger place. And then he went on to explain that a diesel engine can run on peanut oil and that you can get it for free and you filter it. And I was just like, what? I've never heard about this. So I researched it a little bit, and then I bought this diesel Mercedes because you need a diesel engine. So I found a 80s Mercedes on eBay, and I'm like, man, I should bid on this thing and then do a tour and not use gas. So I'm like, I'll just do it for fun. And I went like this, and it went, you won. I'm like, what? I just bought a car? What? Oh. It was like $1,000. And I called the guy. I'm like, hey man, I just bought your car. Where are you? He goes, I'm in Michigan. I go, all right. So I flew up to Michigan. He picked me up at the airport in a white van with no windows. Like, this was crazy. Like, there was a rolled up carpet in the back. I'm like,
did he have free candy?
Well, I mean, you know, he took me to a house that was empty. I'm like, you know, I've seen too many things nowadays. But I went to that house, And I got in that Mercedes, which had no license plates, not even the old plate, like nothing, front or back, no tags, no nothing. The windows wouldn't roll down. And I drove it back to Austin nonstop, just drinking coffee, and I was excited, you know.
Sure.
But it was summer. It was it was over 100, I remember, when I got to Texas. It was over 100. I looked, I mean, I looked like I was on meth, for sure. And I got pulled over in Dallas.
Yeah.
Just south of Dallas. I'm like, I'm almost home. And then I get pulled over, no plates, no tags, sweating. You know, I just look like suspicious. The cop comes up to my window, and I'm like, it won't roll down. Can you go around? So he walks around the other side of the car, and anyway, long story short, he let me go. I said, I'm so sorry. I didn't know I bought this car on eBay, and I'm going to get tags. I'm going right there. And he let me go.
Oh, my God.
It was incredible.
That's incredible.
This is a true story. I grew up in a party house. My parents liked to keep it loud. No rest for the wicked, no sleep for the kids. The neighbors in the kitchen getting high like they did. I grew up moving town to town. New schools, old clothes, no friends around. Just me and my sister, two wild-eyed kids, and the neighbors in the kitchen getting high like they did. But I grew up on a Ray Charles record, and I grew up with the Oak Ridge Boys, and I grew up on some early Van Halen. My mother showed me how to make some noise. I grew up faster than you should. My sister did fast as she could. The party don't stop till the party does. Don't be left behind wishing for what was. I grew up in a party house. The cops would come and shut it down. Open all the windows, get rid of the weed. My buddies on the front lawn pretending to leave. I grew up on a Ray Charles record, and I grew up with the Oak Ridge Boys. I grew up with the young Bob Seger. My mother showed me how to make some noise. She loved Bob Seger. Come on. I thank the Clash, and if you don't tell my mom I got into a stash, I tell you all the things that I saw one night. You wouldn't believe me, but the neighbors might. You can keep the car, I got my guitar, and I got these dreams, say I'm gonna go far. Don't know how far we'll be, but I know when I get there I will find me. 'Cause I grew up on a Ray Charles record, and I grew up with the Oak Ridge Boys. I grew up with the great John Denver. My mother showed me how to make some noise. Let's make some noise. make some noise. Let's make some noise.
You also have your hands in a new band?
I do. Yep. Me and two buddies, Eddie Wall is one of them, and the other guy is Brett Scallions, and he's. I've known Eddie for a long time. He produced one of my first solo records, and he's incredible. And I just love. I've always loved working with him, and he's like, man, I got a buddy, Brett, who is a singer. He's got a band. His band is called Fuel, and I'd had heard of him. I'm like, okay, cool. He's like, I think you and Brett would get along. So we started writing songs, and we do get along. And it was during the pandemic. We were writing virtually, writing and recording virtually, and we ended up putting like over 25 songs together, and now they're finally starting to be released. The band's called RadioBot, and actually we released a Bob Dylan cover, Subterranean Homesick Blues. We did that first, just as like hey guys, here we are. Here's Brett, the singer you love. And
familiarity is always a nice reel in.
It is, yeah. But our first like original song from what hopefully will be our record to follow is coming out December 8th. It's called World Is On Fire, and not to be confused with a song I have from Bearsick called World Is On Fire. Maybe it's called This World's On Fire.
Are they in a songwriting
Very
game
different.
or something?
I don't know where I got that title. Probably from the songwriting game.
Yes.
Yeah.
RadioBot. I think it was Bandcamp I saw you have music up on. Is that right?
I have music on Bandcamp. I love Bandcamp just treats musicians as more fairly than other places, I think.
If they keep that ethos, we'll be good. I know they laid off a bunch of people, and there's a lot of hubbub about that.
Yeah.
But I think they've kept that mindset. So,
yeah. Okay. Well.
I was waiting for my drummer to kick in. For the sake of everything we are, for the sake of everything we are, I'm keeping on, I'm keeping on, I'm keeping on. I'm holding strong, holding strong, I'm holding strong for the one in you and me. We wade the water hand in hand to the distance where we reach for the promise of dry land. For the sake of everything we are. Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, misery, where can you be? Oh, misery, you run from me. When I sing, you standing for. We wade the water to the shore with the knowing that we can, and the promise of dry land for the sake of everything, everything we are, for the sake of everything, everything we are.
Well, awesome. It's Billy Harvey, who has an amazing new Christmas song out, Christmas Street. I would like to believe it's a true story, but, you know.
There's truth in all of it. Might not be mine. Some of it's mine,
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
I feel, you know, that I write a Christmas song every year.
Yeah.
And that one just wanted to come out first. I connect with all of them. They're real songs. You know, they're Christmas songs, but they're real songs that I connect to. I'm not trying to make a Christmas record.
Not Santa
I'm just writing
up
them
at all.
during the Christmassy time.
That's awesome, yeah.
So the first one just ends up being about the dysfunctional Christmas holidays that a lot of us share.
I crashed my car on Christmas Street, drove it right into a Christmas tree. I went to the hospital Christmas Eve, singing Rudolph knows, but he don't know me. At the party coming over, people all dressed up, drinking eggnog from Christmas cups. I guess I maybe had a little bit too much. You think? I've been naughty, but it feels nice. Never did something once I didn't do twice. You wanna go slip sliding on some thin ice? I'll meet you on Christmas Street. Had the tree all trimmed and it was just nice. We decked out the house in Christmas lights. Then we got into our yearly Christmas fight, her and me. You see, my baby don't appreciate my kind of fun, but her brother acts like he shit the sun. I decided to unwrap the BB gun. I shot him in the cheek. I've been naughty, but it feels nice. Never did something once I didn't do twice. You wanna go slip sliding on some thin ice? I'll meet you on Christmas Street. She said to go outside, I should think it through. I was concerned I could develop a Christmas flu. So I got into my car and I cranked some tunes in the heat. Then I headed to the corner to buy her a rose. I got distracted by the light on my old flip phone. I slid into a tree and almost broke my nose on Christmas Street. That's when I crashed my car on Christmas Street. I drove it right into a Christmas tree. I went to hospital Christmas Eve, singing Rudolph knows, but he don't know me. I've been naughty, but it feels nice. Never did something once I didn't want to do twice. You wanna go slip sliding on some thin ice? I'll meet you on Christmas Street. Meet me on Christmas Street.
What's next for Billy Harvey? Should people look for anything?
I have some gigs in Nashville. I'm just working on this Bob record. I'm working on a new record for myself, but it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Takes a while. So yeah, I don't know what to look out for.
This shirt,
Yeah.
Christmas Street.
Yeah.
Love it. Thank you, my friend.
Oh, pleasure.
What a pleasure.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it. This is CapZeyeZ, you guys. If you just tuned in, hit rewind. A great episode with Billy Harvey. Check him out online. I think it's billyharvey.com. And lots of other places. So support Texas music. Here at CapZeyeZ, we always like to close and let you know the Sims Foundation for those in need. Ham, they'll take care of you. We're in a blessed place here in Austin, Texas. And keep that music going. Get off the couch. Go see some. I'm Dave. You're watching CapZeyeZ, originating out of Austin Films, Austin Public Facility in East Austin. We do it weekly. It's live music. It's music that you can't see anywhere else. It's all about DIY. 3 decades and moving forward, y'all.
How do we get to see this?
It's pretty simple. If you look for Austin Public on iPhone or Android, anywhere you get your apps, you can find it. It's called Austin Public. If you are in Austin, you can see it on Grande and Spectrum Cable, Channel 10. We are Saturdays at 10 p.m. when you see it live. There is a Patreon where you can see things before you see them anywhere. We will put some up on YouTube. It's on Roku. It's on Apple TV. It's everywhere. We're taking over.
So no reason not to watch CapZeyeZ, because we're bringing you nothing but the best that Austin has to bring.
Hey, it's CapZeyeZ. It's us. We bring you everything you see. It's all local, local crew, local TV, local music.